Next, if you'd like to come over, please. And Joe Duggan, senior content producer at the V&A, is going to be talking about We Built It and They Came.
Hi everyone. I'm Jo, senior content producer at the V&A, and I'm here to talk to you about Mused, which is a website we made for Gen A and how we made it successful in this saturated digital landscape. So just a little taster of what Mused looks like. So the thinking around Muse stemmed out of the work we were doing with what digital meant for the young V&A, the multi-award-winning museum for young people. And with a new museum dedicated to 0 to 14-year-olds, what could the digital equivalent be? So we decided to focus on this underserved audience of 10 to 14. A lot of 10 to 14-year-olds have content that's either a bit too younger skewing that their younger siblings might watch and they feel forced to, or a bit older and maybe not as suitable. And Gen A are our future audience, if not our current audience. They've been consuming digital in a way that older generations haven't before. They've been raised on a digital diet of apps and streaming and social media. And even though they shouldn't be there, they are often seeing content that isn't always suitable, not to mention screen time concerns as well. So we wanted Muse to offer them something relevant and rewarding and interactive, but with a privacy and safety first approach that supported what we call lean-in behaviours. But we know there's a lot of competition out there, as this slide shows, so we couldn't do this alone. So Muse was developed and launched with an incredible team alongside a brilliant group of agencies and lots of expertise across the V&A, and it was generously funded by the Bloomberg Digital Philanthropies Programme. Essentially, Mused has been designed to engage a large top-funnel audience of young people across the English-speaking world. This opportunity is huge. And given the audience age, we weren't able to reach them on social media, so we decided early on to focus on creating this new website. But we didn't just build Mused, we designed a platform and an experience and content offer that really taps into what young people are interested in, the topics and trends they care about, and packaged up in a format that really appeals to them. So it's an audience-first approach that starts with them, the audience, and then it works out the ways that the V&A can show up around their interests. So, how do you make relevant content for Gen A as a millennial professional working at the V&A? So we knew that gaining mastery and having social currency are two drivers for this audience, and quizzes and challenges meet those core needs. So with an audience-first content strategy built around quizzes, as well as lists, articles, and videos, we based it on people and things from popular culture that we can leverage search to reach and engage Gen A, and then bring them to the world of the V&A and its incredible collections. This creates just the kind of trail that the V&A are trying to achieve, both digitally and in person. So many of our audiences will find us through Taylor Swift quiz or Harry Potter challenge, but then they'll stick around for content that we've got like top 10 objects from our collection to survive a zombie apocalypse, because we all know it's coming. And also our strange cutlery quiz does really well. They love spoons, So each piece of content is assigned one or two of these following roles and is designed to meet a different organisational audience need. So we try to include these roles in each content piece, threading back to the V&A collection in a fun, relatable way. Because how can you make 5,000 years of history relevant to Gen A? Well, so did you know that Timothée Chalamet looks exactly like a 1600 bed hanging or a porcelain woodpecker from the 1740s? So we took an internet meme of comparing inanimate objects to people and riffed on that with a light-hearted touch. And we achieve all of this with an authentic tone of voice. We're not formal, but we certainly don't say things like skibbity toilet. And we use relevant imagery that's fun and cheeky and aspirational and very colourful. And crucially, we're just always trying to tie our collections to things we know that audience are interested in, whether it's Chapel Roan or AI-generated images or the impending zombie apocalypse. But popular culture is fairly easy to work out, but niche interests, how do we find out what is gaining the attention of younger people online? So we brought on trend spotters, and they are a team that bring on a diverse panel of young people across the UK. And these young people give us a deep dive into what they're doing both on and offline. They'll share insights with our external research lead, Sonia, and then she'll collate it into this super detailed report. So this is just a snapshot of one of those reports. They're huge bumper reports, and they're so enlightening, and they've actually been really heartening as well. Like Gen A are really politically minded. They're really concerned about climate change, and they're a really inclusive and diverse generation. And they're really focused on expressing themselves through their curated online presence. But they keep things very lighthearted, like humour is a massive part of their daily lives. So we take these reports and then we carefully select themes that will hopefully be evergreen or at least relevant for some time for Mused. And we use them to experiment with new formats. For example, clothing wish lists are a big thing with Gen A. So I took the format of clothing wish list Shakespeare edition. So what can Macbeth wear if he's going to do a murder? And they also love digital cameras. That's a huge thing. They like having this tangible item. Retro content is really popular. Retro is anything that's 15 years or older, which means I'm an antique. And they love Y2K and 90s. So when Muse first launched, we did start writing for that, and it's remained relevant. So tapping into all that music and aesthetic and fashion of the time, my era, so it's great. And we knew that Taylor Swift was popular, so we created a lot of content for Muse when it launched, and we continue to do that. But I never thought I'd be writing about Jeff Buckley, one of my favourite musicians, or ABBA. The Trendspotters reports have really helped us by being on the ground with this diverse panel of young people. But SEO, this would not have worked without our SEO strategy. It's a big world wide web out there, and this new audience is only going to find you through search. So we've got to be honest, most 10 to 14-year-olds don't know what the V&A is or have never heard of it. And while we've opened new sites across London with younger audience targets, and this will change, and of course Mused itself is brand new in its first year, it's not a destination anyone's really heard of. And we know that search is used by Gen A for study, research, entertainment, and it offers a really highly cost-effective way to reach this audience. And we know this age uses search above all else, but they don't have the same trusted sites. They start every journey by typing into search. So from the start, we worked out with SEOMG, our agency, to create this SEO-led approach and unpick how we can build content around those terms that they're actively plugging into, and then make quality content around that ranks really highly. So SEOMG not only recommend keywords that we should tap into, as you can see, Taylor Swift, Friends, Inside Out, they also do content gap analysis for us. So Met Gala earlier this year was saturated with articles about all the red carpet outfits, and they suggested that we did one about the men's outfits. And that ended up gaining us a lot of traction on the site, and also became one of the top results in Google. So that was really good. And we also knew Inside Out 2 was going to be a massive summer hit, so we started releasing quizzes about the film weeks before the cinema launch, and we gained that organic traffic ahead of the spikes in search of the film. And so we got some of the highest traffic to Muse, but also we ranked again number one. If you put Inside Out 2 quiz in Google, we're number one. So, and seasonal content performs really well for us as well. So Christmas quizzes, that have ranked really highly. We even saw a spike in June. Someone really wanted to do a Christmas quiz in summer. We also saw a 30% increase with our Halloween content this year, and we included like our young V&A's Frankenstein model, and it was great. I did like a whole article about Boris Karloff, so I was proper nerding out. So we know Taylor Swift has been this key SEO driver for us, and her articles were some of the first that we published with Mused. And we know Gen A love her, and they love engaging with the content as much as they can. But we're thinking about the funnel here. So what are they searching for? And the irony is, we started Muse to serve content of actual interest to Gen A, and get them interested with Swiftie content, only for Taylor Swift to come to the V&A with the Songbook Trail this summer and all of the collection of her performance pieces. So it's just like a full circle, which was great. So as well as trend spotters and SEO first strategy, we've also done a lot of user testing and invited lots of young participants to test Muse and give their opinions and feedback. So this year we did some user testing, and this is just a screenshot of the comments they had, which were largely positive, which was really great. They really liked the website design, the colours. They loved that there was stuff for their niche interests. That's something that came up quite a lot. I remember one of the boys during the testing was doing a "Which Spider-Man are you?" from the Spider-Verse, and he got Miles Morales, and he said, "I'm so happy I got that result because he's who I want to be when I grow up." I thought, oh my God, amazing. Running a large, complex design and build like this is really helped by having the young audience test it. You need your audience to know what you want. And with this latest round of testing, we found there was room for improvement. They had feedback on navigation, the way we categorised some content wasn't quite right, and they wanted more colour. So that is what we gave them. This just launched 2 weeks ago. It's been in redesign for 3 months, and the UX is much more appealing to this audience. We know that they love to scroll, but we want to capture their attention, keep them there, and just showcase all of the content that we've got. So it's really good use of user testing. So just a quick overview of the performance for the year. We've had some fantastic results with this website. We've reached all of our KPIs. We've had over 400,000 active users since launch, and it's had nearly 3 minutes spent on the site, which is the industry benchmark. And we've published over 300 pieces. I think it's actually nearly 400 now. And we've also exceeded our KPI of engagement rate since January. So really great. We also run surveys on Mused every month, and what they tell us is that our young audience really love the site, but also half of them would like to visit the V&A, even though they've never heard of it. So that also shows the awareness is working. And it's really great as well. We've had industry recognition with awards. SEOMG have won awards in the last couple of years, and we were shortlisted at the Museum and Heritage Awards and the Lovey Awards, and we got an honorary from the Webbies, so hopefully more next year. So in the words of Kevin Costner in Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come. Give the audience what they want and you're onto a winner. Search is king. This is how they find their way around the huge amount of information they have to navigate. SEO strategy is so important, I can't stress it enough. And constantly monitor your analytics as well and lean into the things that work best and expand on that. But also don't be afraid to try out new formats and go left field, like comparing celebrity outfits to objects. And this audience is really savvy. They can recognise quality content, and they're looking for authoritative content too, but it just needs to be packaged up in a way that's really recognisable to them. Thank you.